The question is, obviously this is delivery streaming for governments. Anybody work with government, or are there any government employees here? Just curious. So 2. All right. Just kind of curious, I'd like to find out my surroundings. Can we turn it down a little bit, a little sound? A little reverby. All right. So a few things we're going to talk about. Obviously Watson and AI and video. Automated closed captioning, video delivery. I have a few use cases. We only put 2 in here. I'll talk about more than will be seen in here. We didn't get the permissions to put them in a slide. Obviously, question and answer. Obviously, video growth. You know, it's surprising how much video is being used. They're saying 60% of government executives plan to use video in the future. It doesn't surprise me. It's a new tool. Expanding vision is a lot better than teleconferencing systems, but even then, you're using more video. 70% say they will pay for a video platform to be able to get this message out there versus building something in-house. Also, like I said, it's easier search and discovery. So let me jump into one use case right now. There is an agency inside of the Navy. They had 250 photographers. They have 10 editors. They need to put videos out there fast. It's impossible for the scale because of how many videos they get in. Then you have all the video out there with no useful information that you can search. With AI, you can basically do metadata extraction. You can tell everybody what's in the video. Now your search and discovery is a lot faster because when someone enters in your metadata, if you ever looked at it, it's headers, basic bit rate, frame rate, and stuff, and some basic keywords. It's not telling you the description of the room. It's not telling you how many people are in the room, which is something AI can do. Again, you're just seeing these numbers. Executives are saying they plan to use live video, closed captionings to enhance that. Watson AI capabilities. Obviously, I work for Watson Media and Weather. We are all weather, and we are all Watson and weather-based. So we actually do tone analysis. We do concept analysis, and we identify spoken words. So we import the audio, and we will do neural language. There you go. How we actually do the metadata extraction. So obviously, we take all the audio, and we go speech to text. So we have a transcript to work from. But that's not good enough to really tell you what's in the scene. That's just words. What is the tone behind it? What is the personality? Because I can write something out as a joke. If I don't deliver it properly, it can be very negative. So now with the tone analysis, oh, it's a joke. It's funny, ha. And you see the personality traits that go up there. So that's a very key thing for finding the metadata is what is the feel. That can also help with scene selection. You got to determine what is a scene, what is not a scene. Visual recognition, what is in the video? There's people, descriptions. There are a variety of things, of aspects where we can take that information and do a scene selection. Then with that information, we are obviously deeper understanding what's being said. We understand we can automate, say we're looking for logos, logo detection. We can do that. My people in Navy, what do they want to identify? They want to identify aircraft carriers. What is it? Stennis? Is it Ronald Reagan? Who's the captain of that ship? What planes are on it? So when it pulls in, it can analyze a video and do all the metadata. Now you have F-14s, you have F-18s, it'll do that information on there from the visual and the aspects. The alchemy language is giving you taxonomy. What are the key words? What are the aspects of what we're talking about? Okay. So with Watson, we actually have 3 different versions of captioning. We have standalone VOD, so you can run your videos through. You will have just generate a closed caption or transcript. The live streaming service has this feature built in also, but it's part of a overall delivery package. Lastly is the live. Now our live is currently with more broadcasters because it's been used with some other equipment, but we will have a version that will be 100% audio based, no hardware needed. So we see that be in the cloud relatively soon. Obviously you can edit it, you can train Watson. Like one thing we noticed, we did the US Open, or no, the Wimbledon, and Arthur Ashe is not spelled how you normally say Ashe. So we had to train it. We had to train it to say some of the players' names. Dojovic. I mean, a normal machine would not know how to spell it. So a few times it comes out wrong. You train it. Now every time it hears the name, it'll be correct. Actually, the next thing, into the sessions. You can put terms in. There's some crazy names in New York, Schenectady and everyone's out there. How do you know how to spell those? How do you set the theme? Is that a city? How do you properly spell it? How do you set the capitalization? So you can set the terms in there. Like I said, the overall database, the corpus, you can just import in newspaper articles, which we did for the US Open, all different players, but historical archives, now you can expand. Again, back to the government. What is a big thing the government has? A lot of PR. There's a lot of legacy news articles. There's a lot of a variety of different things on here. I'll get into some use cases in a second. Again, a search. In this case here on the video platform, you can actually after it's generated the audio, now you can go to your VOD and you can type in a key word. Maybe it's a town hall, maybe it's the president talking about tariffs. Well, here's the video, you type in tariffs, right to the spot in the video where it said tariffs. So you can do very quick and easy search of that aspect. Again, like almost all video platforms, especially with AI, you need to reach every device. So when you do AI, you can't just make it for one device. You have to make it very easy to use to all, anybody who has an Apple, iPhone, Android, whatever you want, all the capabilities needs to be there for everybody. Same multiple resolutions, and also the delivery optimized for every device. Is everybody familiar how cell phones work versus your web browser? How players come in? So your video will come through and actually goes to a decoder device, which is, it could be a chip in your cell phone, or it goes to, obviously your player is a decoder. Do you send the optimal stream for every device, or do you let the machine take care of some of it? With your web device, you will give a 720p at the proper resolution. Does not mean your cell phone can handle that. It'll take that 720p video at that bit rate and realize, well, I need a little more tweaking. It'll customize it for it. So that's why you want it to optimize for every device, so when it goes to that decoder chip, it's on a massive scaling. It's minor. Multiple CDNs, or we call it SD-CDN. You just probably saw recently that Verizon is now getting to this. They, which is kind of awkward because they own Edgecast, so I want to see how that's really going to play out. But it makes sense. So we don't have a single CDN. We have 9. Because we don't load balance across servers. We're load balancing across CDNs. So it allows us to do massive scale, which is the very thing. Using AI to determine what's the proper CDN, what is the proper way to go to route people. It gives you global reach. Again, you can easily scale to massive people. Obviously, when you do multi-CDN, I know the session before, so it's ultra low latency. I'm not claiming ultra low latency here. Because of multi-CDNs, you have to have a buffer built in so you can change CDNs. So, but it's normal latency or delivery time. Obviously, QoS, well, if you're using CDNs, you have to know what's happening on the end viewer experience so you can make the decisions going on. Then obviously, we have mentioned here of an eCDN, which is basically the same idea, but like in this case, we put a server in the office here, and we bring in one video from the outside and not have to have 40 streams if everybody watching. Very simple thing of an eCDN. Again, it's an edge node in a location. You capture, transcode, deliver. Do you go outside to the global CDN? No, I'm on premise. I have a box here. I pull it from the box. Okay. So 2 use cases. So New York State Senate, not that far away. They actually were using real networks Helix boxes Real networks got out of that business, so they had no more support. So what do? Well, they have a mandate is they have to, every open session has to be able to be viewed outside of the campus or the office or the Capitol, but also it has to be able to be viewed by everybody in the Capitol. So how do they do that? Well, they're hitting a cloud service. So in theory, all the video's coming through. So they put in the eCDN into their campus so that way they can save on bandwidth. Versus pulling in 200 streams, they're literally pulling in 4 or 5 different streams and distributing through, saving them huge on bandwidth. Like I said, all virtual devices, and they've been using this for years, and it's a great partnership. We have a very similar one with the Maryland Court of Appeals. I actually have a colleague who will be speaking with me on a panel tomorrow, and he's actually works with Maryland Court of Appeals and did that installation. It was a very similar but different. NASA. So this is kind of a weird slide. We only have one here, but actually we should have like 20 NASA slides. We do so much work with them. So right now, NASA has the International Space Station streaming 24/7, multiple cameras. They have, right now, NASA has about 40 live streams going any given time. This case is actually JPL. So the 600 staff members, so they need secure communications. This is not made for public consumption. This is for employees, HR, and that kind of stuff. They are using that. They have it archived, but only authenticated personnel can view this. Okay, now let's jump into regular NASA. We have the space station. Again, they have 40 years worth of footage from the different aspects on there. They have, on the International Space Station, they have multiple cameras going 24/7. They have one 360 camera, all being streamed live, and also satellite download. So anybody can air it and go from there. Again, they have over 100 channels and massive viewers. Again, they're getting into aspects of there's too much data to work with. They don't know what's in it. There's so much video. How do they do that? You have a MAM system, but who enters the information into the MAM system? This is where AI comes in. It's helping them out, identify what's in the videos and so on. Okay, I'm not sure how much time we have, but jump into questions and I can give you more use cases of agencies and AI.
Well, I think you're well ahead.
Yeah.
You buzzed through, but we have plenty of time for questions, people.
And I can jump into more use cases too. If you have any interest or ideas, I can jump more use cases too.
All right, this is sort of a mid-presentation break then. Who's got a question for Scott? Okay, hold on here. Make it a good one.
I'm curious if for any of the government, like the New York State one, is there any level of interactivity where there's video going out, but then questions and video coming back?
Yes. They are using chat, Q&A, polling. Not so much polling, but they definitely have a question and answer. People ask questions, and like the simple, there'll be a moderator that'll ask the different aspects. They do like a town hall. If it's just a session, they won't be answering because they're in mid-session, but the people will still ask questions, and the moderators will type in answers.
Okay. Is that a growing area for like these, all the state governments and so forth?
Yes. I can tell you right now, we have several federal agencies, including the State Department, who are using video. CDC, I'm actually writing an article, hopefully come out pretty soon, is people remember the Zika outbreak? Well, the CDC was using video like crazy. They had fly packs. They were sending around the world. They have doctors talk about where it's at and trying to track this down and giving you situations. They were using all kinds of stuff. They also had internal comms. You had emergency stuff happening, your internal stuff happening, and every other outbreak they had to get communication on. So more and more agencies are realizing, okay, satellite time's expensive. That's why we pay for it. We can do IP. You have a global reach. Well, television is not really a global reach. It's local. I mean, even the cable networks, you have still a refined stuff. If you need to get out globally, the best way to go right now is the internet and the IP.
Okay, we got another question. Yeah. Very good. Hold on here.
Hi. With the NASA slide you had on there, you said that they have managed, the assets are managed by a robust CMS.
Yes.
Is that something you guys provide, or is that
Yes,
a
it's
different?
part of, so a legacy I come from Ustream. So that was part of our streaming platform is you have the videos, you auto archive, now it's in your repository. That's where the AI comes in and does speech to text. It'll tell you what's in there, do scene selection, slides, and things like that. So it helps you that overall presentation. But yes.
Okay, all right, hold on.
I think I can talk from you. Oh, everyone else,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
For the tape.
of course. How much on the speech-to-text search return, so let's
Mm-hmm.
say standard result, Rocket or something else,
Mm-hmm.
how much control have you got around the in and the out? So it'll be a timestamp marker.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
It'll
I don't
be
have it here.
3 seconds before, 5 seconds after.
Yeah, so on the speech to text, it's actually pretty fast. It's like a 3 or 4 second latency, but we tag it to right where the word's at. So it's dead on. And you see the transcript, you will see the 2 hours, 2 minutes, 3 seconds, and how many tenths on the video on the time code. So you would actually, and you'll scroll down, and if we still watching video enrichment, you tie in shows you the keywords. It'll show you how many times that person's the name, location popped up. You click on it, it'll bring you right to that instance. So that's what it's nice about search and discovery is more metadata makes your searches so much faster. June?
Okay, we have a fourth, yes?
Yeah, June.
So we're talking about government.
Uh-huh.
So have you run into scenarios where people have to pay attention to things like GDPR or other regulations when it comes to generating that metadata?
Most of the agencies I'm working with are U.S. It's a lot more of international, but yes. At the same time is who is doing the work. I mean, for general population, if you're an employee, you kind of give up some GDPR rights to your employer because it's all internal comms. But again, if it's public facing, you have to agree to release it. And if you say no, you could be edited or blocked out, redacted. So there are ways to do something like that. But in the States, I mean, pretty much all internal. The United States' GDPR is not as extravagant as some of the other countries out there, and it doesn't come up too much. Again, all federal employees, they all under contract, and they kind of do whatever the law says.
Okay, we have time for another? Oh, again, we got a couple more. All right, you can go next.
Does this product integrate with IBM's enterprise content management system?
The ECM?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's a little bit different product. We are actually, it's no and yes. So obviously IBM's a massive company. So we have a lot of different agencies out there. My unit is not that unit, but can it be connected? Yes. The whole thing of our platform and the API hooks, it can be used with any platform as long as you have API calls. So yes, but it's a little bit of development time that we've had to bring another unit in. 'Cause that's who actually owns that. They would be the one doing development, and we can connect with them very, very easy if you happen to use that.
So two-part question. The first one, for live video, what's the latency to add text to speech, like in real time? And then second part of the question, do you do other languages other than English?
Both tricky ones. On the live, as like I said, right now we're currently with broadcasters. So the latency is minimal. We're at 1 to 2 seconds, but actually we're under the repackaging time for anything else goes through there. So we made the latency maybe 2 to 3 seconds, but the other stuff around there is going to be 5 to 10 seconds. So we fit in that window, so no one notices it. The language, that is a tricky one. So right now the live stream platform, not the live closed captioning, can do multiple languages. It has about 5 native. Not including translation. Translation we're working on, we're not there yet because my wife is Peruvian. Peruvian Spanish, I found out, is different than Mexico Spanish. Because that's right, I know Mexico Spanish a little bit better than I know Peruvian. And she goes, no, you don't use that word that way, you'll get in trouble. So that's where the language gets difficult is how do you do all the local dialects? Because everyone is, it's like, if you talk to a Britishman, we don't speak English, we speak American. So that's kind of the tricky part on there. Is how do we do that? Because when we do English, we do British English, there's little dialects you have to change, and you train it for the local speakers. So that's where you can do it. Now, IBM also does have its own API set, but we haven't not fully implemented all of the repackaging and all the translation or the multiple languages. We have a few that we're making a package ready for you today. But if you want development, there is API calls you can pull from, we formerly called it Bluemix.
So just to clarify, you do live text-to-speech in 5 different languages. The translation is something different.
So the live is English right now.
Oh, okay.
But on the streaming platform, which will be live in the future, should be about 5 languages.
Look at you guys asking so many good questions at the end of the day. You guys
I
are the
know.
best. You guys are a fantastic audience. Well, that is the end of Discovery Track for day 1 of Streaming Media East. Big round of applause for Scott Grizzle of
Thank you.
IBM.